Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the machines that make our hearts race and our palms sweat. Today, we're talking about something truly special, the 2026 Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport. If you've been following Corvette news, you know this isn't just another refresh. It's Chevrolet cranking the Dell to 11 on American performance, blending the raw soul of the Stingray with the track-honed precision of higher trims into a package that's as street legal as it is supercar slaying. I've spent some serious time behind the wheel of this beast, tearing up back roads and pushing it to its limits on a closed course, and let me tell you, it's the kind of car that reminds you why the Corvette badge has been synonymous with affordable exhilaration for decades. Stick around as we break it all down, from that jaw-dropping exterior to the tech-loaded cabin, blistering performance, what it'll cost you, some honest suggestions on who this ride's for, and my final thoughts. Let's jump in. Picture this, you're approaching the front of the 2026 Corvette Grand Sport, and it's like the car is staring you down with pure intent. The front fascia is aggressively sculpted, with those massive blacked-out grille openings that scream "feed me air" for the mid-engine. Layout, it's wider and more pronounced than the standard Stingray, thanks to the Grand Sport's wide-body kit that borrows cues from the Z06, but tones it just enough for daily drivability. The slim LED headlights are razor-sharp, integrated seamlessly into the hood line that flows down to a massive lower splitter made of carbon fiber, which not only looks killer, but actively generates downforce to keep the nose planted at triple-digit speeds. Up close, you notice the subtle Grand Sport badging in yellow lettering on the black grille surround, a nod to the heritage of the C7 Grand Sport, and those 20-inch front wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, 255/30ths up front fill the arches perfectly without any awkward gaps. The hood itself is mostly flat, but with just enough bulge to hint at the power underneath, and the whole front end sits low, almost hovering over the ground at 48.6 inches tall, giving it that predatory stance that makes every driveway approach feel like a red carpet event. It's not just pretty, this design is functional, channeling air through ducts to cool the massive Brembo brakes and the 6.2-liter V8 lurking behind you, sliding around to the side. The Grand Sport really flexes its muscles. The wheelbase stretches to 107.2 inches, but it's the flared fenders that steal the show wider by a couple of inches on each side compared to the base model, accommodating those massive 325/30ths R2-1 rear tires that grip like they're glued to the asphalt. The side profile is pure mid-engine poetry, doors that swing wide with a satisfying thunk, revealing the low-slung sill that makes entry feel like stepping into a cockpit, and a subtle side skirt in gloss black that runs from the front wheel to the rear, edged with carbon fiber accents for that premium touch. The roofline arcs gracefully into the haunches, peeking just behind the seats before dropping into the engine cover that's visible through a tinted glass panel on warmer days. You can even pop it open to let some heat escape or just show off the LT2 V8's red valve covers. Mirrors are sleek aero units with integrated turn signals, and the fuel filler hides discreetly on the passenger side, keeping the lines clean. From the side, the Grand Sport measures about 76.1 inches wide, which might make you think twice in tight city parking. But man, does it look planted and purposeful? Like it's ready to devour twisty canyon roads or straight-line sprints. The paint options? I had Arctic white with black accents, but go for the torch red if you want to turn heads. It's a metallic that shifts in the light like liquid fire. Now, flip it around to the rear, and the Grand Sport doesn't hold back, it's where the drama peaks. Quad exhaust tips in chrome surround a massive diffuser that's all business, painted black with vertical fins that help manage airflow and add that aggressive visual punch. Above it, the taillights are slim horizontal LEDs that wrap slightly around the corners, glowing red like embers when you brake. And the rear deck lid has a subtle lip spoiler that's functional enough to add stability without screaming "boy racer." The wide rear fenders bulge out dramatically, emphasizing those 21-inch rear wheels, and there's a subtle ducktail element integrated into the hatch that echoes classic Corvette vibes while feeding air to the rear brakes. Open the rear trunk, 13 cubic feet total with front and back compartments, and it's surprisingly practical. Enough space for a weekend's worth of gear or even a set of clubs stacked vertically. But close it up and you're left with a rear view that's pure menace. Low and wide at 182.3 inches long overall, with heat extractors on the engine cover venting hot air upward. It's the kind of tail that makes you want to floor it just to see it in the rear view of slower traffic, once you're inside. The magic continues with an interior that's been massively upgraded for 2026. Chevy listened to owners and tore down that infamous wall of buttons between driver and passenger, replacing it with a cleaner, more passenger-friendly layout that still keeps things driver-centric. Settle into the GT2 seats wrapped in Napa leather with perforated inserts for breathability. They're heated and ventilated standard on the 2LT trim I tested, hugging you like a custom-tailored suit without feeling too track-ridged for daily commutes. The steering wheel is a flat-bottomed, leather-wrapped unit with thumb grips and carbon fiber accents, tilting and telescoping electrically to find that perfect position, and behind it, the 14-inch digital gauge cluster bursts to life with customizable displays, think rev matching, graphics, or a full nav map that looks straight out of a fighter jet. To the right, the 12.7-inch central touchscreen dominates, running Google built-in for seamless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wireless integration, and it's angled toward you with haptic feedback buttons that feel premium, not gimmicky. Below it, climate controls are now in a dedicated panel dual zone, auto with physical knobs for that tactile joy, and there's a new 6.6-inch auxiliary screen for passengers to fiddle with nav or media without bugging you. Materials scream luxury, real aluminum trim on the doors and dash, suede microfiber headliner, and ambient lighting that pulses in sync with your drive mode. Storage is thoughtful 2-deep door pockets, a wireless charger up front, and USB-C ports everywhere. The passenger gets their own 7-inch screen for mirroring, and with the asymmetrical seating option, you can mix sporty driver seats with more cushy passenger ones. It's quiet at highway speeds thanks to active noise cancellation, but fire it up and the Bose 14-speaker system thumps with clarity that rivals high-end audiophiles. Overall, it's a cockpit that feels exotic yet accessible, seating 2 and 42 inches of headroom and 42.8 of legroom, with that signature Corvette divider toned down but still keeping the focus forward. Alright, let's talk about what this thing can do. Performance is where the Grand Sport lives and breathes, turning the Corvette formula into something even more addictive. Under that glass engine cover sits the familiar 6.2-liter LT2 small block V8, naturally aspirated with direct injection and variable valve timing, pumping out 500 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque up, a tick from the Stingray thanks to Grand Sport-specific tuning for better mid-range punch. Paired to an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic that's lightning quick on shifts, it launches you from 0 to 60 in just 2.9 seconds with the E51 performance package, which includes the electronic limited slip diff, larger brakes, and those summer tires I mentioned. Quarter mile, gone in 11.2 seconds at 122 miles per hour, and top speed pushes 190 miles per hour if you dare stretch its legs on a track. But it's not just straight-line brutality. The Grand Sport's wide-body setup with stiffer springs, magnetic ride control dampers, and performance traction management modes Tour, Sport, Track, and a customizable My mode makes it dance through corners like a much pricier Porsche 911. I hit 1.05 grams on the skid pad during testing, with steering that's telepathic, feeding back every ripple without jerking your arms. Brakes hold it down from 70 to 0 in 152 feet, fade-free even after repeated hot laps, and the exhaust note? With the optional NPP active system, it growls like a caged animal in sport mode, barking on downshifts while staying civilized for grandma's errands. Fuel economy hovers at 16 city, 25 highway on premium gas, which isn't bad for 3,600 pounds of curb weight. In short, it's a daily driver that can embarrass Lambos on Sunday's balanced, ferocious, and endlessly engaging. Now, on to the dollars and cents pricing for the 2026 Corvette Grand Sport starts at around $89,995 for the base 1LT coupe, which gets you the essentials like the 10-speaker audio, basic leather, and that killer V8. Step up to the 2LT I drove, and you're at $99,495. Adding the Bose upgrade, blind spot monitoring, head-up display, and those ventilated seats worth every penny for comfort. Convertibles tack on about $7,000. And if you go wild with options like the carbon fiber aero package, visible brake calipers in yellow, or the 3LZ trim with extended leather and suede, you could easily crest $120,000 as tested. Compared to rivals, it's a steal. The Porsche 718 Cayman GTS starts at $105,000 with less power, and a Ferrari 296 GTB? Forget it, that's double the dough for similar thrills. Resale holds strong too, with low-mileage C8 South fetching 90% of MSRP after a year, so it's not just fun, it's smart money if you can bear to sell. Destination fee is $1,695, and Chevy throws in 3 years of calm.